Hey guys, welcome to the Hidden Horror Podcast. I'm Jess here with Danny and Sean, bringing you some good conversation on the lesser known hidden horror gems.
Today we have a really fun episode. It's going to be into two parts, and it's about a character we all love. One that even though he doesn't talk, he makes a lot of noise. And you guessed it, Art the Clown. So we're going to be doing a very short segment on All Hallows Eve where he was introduced. Then we're going to be doing Terrifier 1, and our next episode is going to continue with Terrifier 2. So today's episode is called Art You Terrified? All right, so the very first movie where Art the Clown came from was called All Hallows Eve, directed by Damien Leone. This is an anthology film. He doesn't have a super long part in it. I don't want to get too into detail with it because it was kind of just like a cat and mouse segment where he's just basically chasing this girl around and, he kills a few people in between. But Art the Clown is you don't really know what he is.
Yeah.
Like he's got to be supernatural.
I also don't think that they intended him to grow to what he did
They didn't.
become. He was really, I feel like, just something they threw in this movie to add like a little creep factor. But I think just everybody ended up
Yeah.
really obsessing over him.
So what I heard was that everyone loved him so much that they demanded that Damien Leone makes a full-length movie of him. They loved his character. They thought he was funny, even though he literally does not say a single word. He doesn't even make noise, like
Not
It's like
really.
just a little
with his
one,
horn.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, he uses the horn, which the way they use that in Terrifier 1 is kind of hilarious in one part. I always laugh at that part.
I think that's what makes him so scary too, is that he
Yeah.
doesn't make any noise. Because the
Yeah.
same thing with like your Michael Myers and everything, like even Jason, none of them make
Make
noise.
noise. That's
What
right.
is it about not making noise that makes people so like freaking scary?
So the way All Hallows Eve starts off is basically it was the night of Halloween and this little I don't know how old the kid is, maybe like 10, 11 years old,
Yeah.
gets a videotape in his bag. He wants to watch it. The babysitter tells him no. Then he finally says yes. He can watch it, but she has to watch it first, and that's where it goes into all the different anthologies. Um, Art the Clown plays a very small part in the first one. There's that lady at the train station or
Hmm.
bus
Hmm.
station, and he's like kind of like being cute with her, but then turns evil, gives her a shot, and she wakes up, I don't know, in some basement that looks like hell.
Is it the basement or she gets tied to the railroad tracks?
Whatever. It was
It
like
was something
it was
dark and spooky.
downstairs. It was in like a
Okay.
dark hallway, and there was like I think three other girls. They were all
Hmm.
chained up.
Yes.
I felt like it was like part of the railroad, but maybe it wasn't. I'm not.
It could
It
have
probably
been,
was like a
but
basement section of the
I don't know. It
subway.
wasn't like the hallway wasn't that big, so that's why I don't know. Who knows? But she's underground.
Small
Yeah.
budget, small hallway. That's it.
She's underground, just chained up with these other girls, and art has nothing to do with it. So I'm gonna end that right there. That's just like the very first time you see him. But the very last short in All Hallows Eve was originally that was the original Terrifier. I thought it was called the Ninth Circle, but that's the very first one in the basement hallway or whatever, the underground tunnel, whatever it is. So this like I don't know, it's like 20 minutes. The short was the original Terrifier, and that's when fans loved him so much that they basically put a petition together saying you need to make Art the Clown into a full movie, which is
They
when
responded.
yeah,
They did.
and it was I don't know. There's like I said, the one in All Hallows Eve. It's just some girl's driving. She needs to get gas. Art's at the gas station. I guess he wipes shit all over the bathroom,
Ugh.
and the attendant.
That was in the Terrifier
That
though,
was
no?
also on Terrifier
Yeah.
in the
Oh, he
pizza
did
man.
that. That was his thing. He kept doing it.
Yeah.
Gross. Okay. No thanks,
He
Art.
likes to write his name in his
Ugh.
feces.
This girl's pumping gas. She sees the whole altercation with the guy in Art, and basically, she's like, "I gotta get out of here." So now
Oof.
Art is just chasing her throughout the whole movie. It's a fun watch, but it's nothing exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna skip to the very end. I really don't want to get too into this movie. Um, but the way what he did, I'm like fumbling my words. What he did to her was really really fucked up. Do you remember he sawed off all her limbs?
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
That's the big thing with all of these movies is he's very gruesome, and I
Yeah,
feel like he does that because there's not much plot, and when you don't have plot, you got to
yeah,
make up
you
for it
gotta
with the
make the
blood and the gore to
so
make
yeah.
people want to watch it, and they succeeded in all those movies, to be honest with you.
So I don't know what the point of it was, but like he sawed off her limbs, he sewed her vagina shut, cut off her tits, and he carved like pig, slut, cunt, every
Mm-hmm.
like he carved these words into her for like no reason. It was just a girl that wanted to get gas. Like
I think really they did that. Like, I mean, whoever directed and everything, like that's something that I think really sticks with girls is like those words are very
Mhm.
ugly for, especially
Yeah.
for women. They're not like, and that in its own way is a real kind of scary.
Yeah,
So,
like as men, like there's no words that we can be called that I'm just like, oh, how dare you? But
yeah,
like it's different for women. So
it
it
is
was just
definitely
like they
it's a discomfort for
yeah,
sure. Like it causes more, I think more discomfort than scary in that aspect. Is
yeah.
like it's more of an uncomfortable watch.
So that's basically how the short and All Hallows Eve
Yeah.
goes. There's absolutely no plot. It's just him chasing her around till he gets her. There's no happy ending.
Yeah.
So
Which I feel like most of the movies don't exactly have a happy ending.
they really don't.
But if do you want to get into Terrifier? Or
Yeah, we're gonna move now. We're gonna move into Terrifier 1.
really quickly, the one thing in the beginning that I absolutely noticed in Terrifier is they kind of changed Art's look a bit. Like he was
100%.
very plain and like basic in the All Hallows Eve movies. In Terrifier, the first one, that's when you notice he has like I want to say they
They
added more
structured
black.
his
They
face.
they made his face different. They added more like black to the makeup.
The teeth.
His teeth were,
They gave
yeah,
him the teeth.
Like
definitely
in All
gross.
Hallows Eve, Tal was just a normal face wearing makeup, where in Terrifier 1, they actually
Made him
did
look,
like a mask type of thing or some
yeah.
kind of
They definitely made him look more like a monster,
yeah.
and it worked. He was
Do
he
you
was a
think that's
monster
just
for
him
sure.
transforming?
Well, actually,
Because
adding when you put the
right,
the three movies together, maybe
is he transforming into the real demon of what he
Yeah,
that's
is?
an artsy way to look at it for sure. Because like even though in the first one there's no kind of like magic or
no.
anything. It's more of just a blood fest. Like there's no
Yeah,
story. You don't get to know the characters really. It's
because
two girls or one girl really
yeah,
fighting for
because
her
from
life.
Yeah.
Hallows Eve, did he come from that demon that was capturing those girls in the
He
hallway?
might
You
have
know,
because
it's like is that
he does appear in that hallway in the movie.
exactly?
Hmm.
So and that was supposed to be, I'm assuming, Satan that
Yeah,
That's wild. I didn't even think
yeah.
about
So
that,
do you think
guys.
is he
Wow.
just a spawn of Satan?
Well, you know what?
I know
You're
we
on
didn't
to something. I
I know
didn't
we
even.
didn't really go over All Hallows Eve. If you guys want to watch it, you can see what we're talking
We'll
about.
do an episode,
This
but
is all about Art the Clown. So
yes.
we're just gonna stick with him.
Um. So I think let's go over the best kill in Terrifier. We don't want to give
This
away the
one?
whole movie because you guys really need
Well,
to watch it.
let's not get there yet because that's kind of like midpoint through the movie. So let's just go over just like the all the kills in the movie, like how it starts off. It starts off with the talk show, and you see I don't know, I forget the girl's name. That's
Oh,
your mother's
the
her name,
host, right?
Yes,
The
the
yes,
host.
host
yes.
I know.
mental of I forget what her name is, but she's interviewing someone whose face is just fucking mangled.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
So you'll find out. I'm
Who
not
that
gonna spoil
is?
it yet, but
Yeah.
you'll find out at the end who it is. So I thought it was very uncalled for, but something happened to her when she got attacked
Yeah.
because she became violent and she wasn't that way originally.
It's
Um,
almost like it gave it like almost a PTSD kind of thing.
yeah.
Like something
Yeah.
triggered her,
Triggered me.
went into that first kill, and it was gruesome. Like
So they're interviewing her, and then once it's over, the host is in her dressing room. She's kind of talking shit about the girl
She
too.
is.
Like, if I look like that,
I
I'll
would
kill
kill myself.
myself.
Yep.
Like,
and she kind of deserved
so
it. That's what happens.
Yeah. She pops out and just
Talk
gets
yeah.
the
shit,
brains, and
hit.
then
She's on the phone with like her fiance or whatever, and then she's like, "I gotta call you back." She thinks she hears the noise, and then she looks in her closet, and then you just see
that's
her
what it
get
is.
pounced on,
Yeah. And then she rip
and
her face like her face is, right? She
she
rips her face apart.
she plucks her, she sticks her thumbs in her eyes and
Oh,
plucks her
that's
eyes
right.
out, and I think she ate her face too because she had like lacerations on her
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
face. It was a pretty awesome kill. It's a good way to start the movie, and then it goes into the opening credits.
yeah. Um, I thought this is kind of random, but when they're sitting in the pizzeria, there's two girls sitting in a pizzeria, and they're kind of like your main characters in this movie. The pizza guy, the like owner of the pizzeria. He was great. Like he played like every single pizza guy I ever met acted just like this guy.
Yeah.
The toughness, the like honestly, like making sure your customers are okay, asking like, is this guy a creep, throwing him out, this and that. He played like he must have been a real life pizza guy, and I kind of want to look that up because like they have a personality, and that was it, and it was awesome. So he was either a great actor or he was a real
I don't feel
pizza guy.
served me pizza before.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I thought that was kind of like he was either, like I said, a great actor or in real life a pizza guy.
But yeah, the pizzeria scene, that's like basically like the second scene of the movie. The first, these two girls, they came from a Halloween party drunk
Hmm.
and they're getting ready to drive to leave, but they both realize they're too, as their names are Tara and Dawn. Tara's I guess she's the
The
main
main,
character.
yeah.
She says to Dawn, like, you're not driving, you're too drunk. She goes to get in the car. She says, I'm lit. I need to eat some food and then I'll feel better.
Yeah,
So then they go to the pizzeria. And,
that's where Art is being a creep.
but let's,
He walks in after
he
them, right?
walks in, yeah, but before it's very unsettling for them because when they're waiting by the car, just deciding what they're going to do, they see Art on the sidewalk just staring at them.
Hmm.
That's right. Okay.
And Tara's like freaked out, but Dawn's just like, hey, handsome, like being a fucking
An
stupid.
annoying blonde. Sorry,
She's
guys. That's
she's
how they are in every movie.
she's literally the dumb, annoying, hot blonde in the horror movie. That's her role, and she did a very good job at it.
Yeah.
But so they go to this pizzeria, they sit down, and then Art walks in. So Tara's looking at him just because he's like staring. He's just
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
staring at her, like giving her a death stare. But then he starts making the funny faces, which brings in the comic relief, which
No,
I
in
think
my
is
opinion,
There's,
that brings in the creep. It's
but
not a
there's a
comic.
couple comic
There,
reliefs throughout the movie.
I
You
yeah.
know,
don't
that's
know.
what.
From my point of view,
No,
this brings more of like the creep factor in because like he's trying to be funny, but you already know he's creepy. I don't know.
It's just his mannerisms though are really funny, and it is creepy. It's super creepy, but it's funny at the
it is
same
funny
time.
though.
As a viewer, as a viewer, it's funny, but being in that situation in real life, that
Oh,
would
it's
be
petrifying.
yeah. So, what would you guys do in that situation if you're sitting down, you see this guy 10 minutes earlier, he's creepy, then he shows up in the pizzeria and just staring at
Nope,
you.
leaving. I'm leaving, and I'm leaving fast.
See,
And
it's
making sure he's not following me.
that's tough though because he doesn't really talk back.
You don't
So
have
even
to.
if you
You
confront
have to
him,
recognize
he's
the
just gonna
vibe.
sit there though with that face.
So you don't have to confront him. You just get your shit and you leave. You eat your pizza in the car on the way home. You check the back seat before you get in the car and you go. That's it.
I'd probably do the same. I think I would leave. I'd be out. Um, I got such a bad vibe just from seeing him on the street. And I know it's Halloween, it's a costume, but I don't know.
Yeah, actually, if I might not have even stopped in the pizzeria, I would have just went.
That's what I'm thinking. Like going back to the scene by the car, I would have been like, I know we shouldn't be driving
Take
drunk,
the
but let's
chance.
just like take the chance because either we get a DWI or we get fucking chopped up by
Yeah,
this maniacal clown. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Anyway, so what? Would they end up at like the flat tire? Tara's got to go to the bathroom. We don't want to get into too much
Is it a flat
detail over
tire?
everything.
they have a
Yeah.
flat tire, yeah,
That's
but
right.
So she
Okay.
calls her sister to come pick her
That's
up.
right.
but we
Okay.
got to talk about the kills to the pizza guys
Yeah, that's true. Well,
because we want to go over all
Well,
the kills in
you don't
this.
see the one kill,
You don't see it; you just see the
right? His
aftermath.
head with a candle in it,
Yeah,
like a jack o' lantern.
so Art shits and there's like shit and blood all over the bathroom, and
Yeah, he writes his
our
name on the
favorite,
mirror.
yeah,
Yeah.
our favorite pizza guy throws him out, and Art's like outside, like kind of like laughing at him. And Art comes back, you don't know, but he comes back and to the pizzeria and kills both pizza
hmm.
workers. The main guy, our favorite pizza guy, we'll call him. You don't see him get killed, but you see his head on the counter, and it's carved out like a jack o' lantern with like
It's
candles in
gross.
it
Hmm.
or fire in it. And then his little helper. I thought that was. I think that guy's such an idiot. He's a moron because he sees Art and he freaks out, and he first thing he does, he just reaches for the phone. Like you're in a pizzeria, you have knives,
Yeah, you
you have
got.
a weapon. Like I don't know, he gets butchered up pretty bad.
Yeah, but I guess nobody really expected him to be a killer. You know, they just expected him to be a creepy Halloween
Yeah,
guy.
because it is
It
Halloween.
is
You
Well,
just
Halloween.
think,
he saw his boss's head as a jack o' lantern, so he turns around and he sees it, and then he
oh,
sees
that's
Art,
true.
and Art's just like does that little wave that he does.
Yeah,
So it's
fucking.
kind of like, don't call 911. They're not gonna get there in time. What are you gonna run? Are you guys gonna do laps for like 10 minutes in the
Hmm.
pizzeria escaping? Like, I don't know. But yeah, okay, so let's go back to the girls. The girls get back to the car now.
Yeah, and then the flat tire, they go into the well, just Tara goes into the warehouse to use
Yeah.
the bathroom. Again, horrible idea. Women never separate, especially on Halloween night in the middle of the night. You're wearing a tiny mini dress. Don't do it. You know that. Everyone knows that. Your parents tell you that, but one of them waits in the car. She goes to the creepy janitor to go to the bathroom in the warehouse. Um, from there, she runs into what? That homeless woman,
Yes, I believe so.
But
right?
Yeah,
what happens is Dawn's in the car and then she thinks Tara gets back in the car and Dawn says something like, "Oh, she's like, what took you so
that's
long?"
right, and it's
But
She just heard
also,
something on she heard the
I
radio
was just gonna
that
say,
there was a what was it like 4 people dead or something
at the
like that.
at the
pizzeria
pizzeria.
they were
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
at, and she didn't really react to it with the clown that they just saw. And then she tells the friend, like, "Oh, what took you so long?"
And then
Like,
when she says that, she looks and it's Art the Clown that got in the car with her.
surprise.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Who's
which why is the car unlocked in the first place?
I know
I don't know.
again,
It's a really bad neighborhood you pulled
dumb
up in,
girls,
and like you
dumb
just leave it
women.
unlocked.
Like just wait
Stop being
for
dumb, guys. Your parents taught you better than that.
wait for Tara to
Your
actually
friends taught
come
you
back and
better.
then unlock the
Yeah,
car.
and didn't she watch her walk into the building?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like you can watch her walk back
I
out.
think she
she
was
should
like
have watched her. She should have went with her, if anything.
I think she was like on her phone or like on pretty sure she was on her phone looking down though,
Yep.
so then she
Killed by the
just
phone once
yeah.
again.
So then she just heard the door open thinking it was Tara, but it was Art. So that's when you're like, oh yeah, she's fucked.
Yeah, she was definitely fucked. And bringing up, her. She was
Which
probably my
led
favorite kill.
to the
Yeah.
I
best
know that's
kill.
it's jumping a little bit, but
We'll
it's
get to that. That's the, in my opinion, the second worst kill in both
oh
Terrifier movies.
no. Oh
Second?
yeah,
Yeah.
in both Terrifier movies.
Between Terrifier 1 and 2,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
there's a
now
kill
thinking
in
about it.
Terrifier
I
2
know we already know
Okay.
what the kill in
because they're
Terrifier
actually
2
saying that
is.
was the most brutal kill in any horror
It
movie.
was. It
Really?
was too much.
It
But
was
we'll get to that in that episode.
yeah.
Even Hostel?
Yeah, no, this
Yeah,
is
yeah, no, it's bad. Did
it's
you
bad.
like you don't remember?
I do remember it, but I'm saying like Hostel has
Nah.
It does, but it's
No,
not.
yeah,
It's
there
not.
I disagree. There was nothing. Literally the one thing I remembered about was that Terrifier 2 kill. Like I had to rewatch the movie before this just to like bring my memory back, but like I will never forget that one scene. But anyway, we're saving that
Okay.
for
Sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
So she's the homeless lady. Very weird.
very weird. She kind of creepy, but like honestly,
She was harmless.
she seemed harmless.
Yeah,
Just like
her pet rats, right? Didn't she have like rats or
yeah, like she
something?
might have had like a
Baby that was
Like a
I believe it
doll.
was a doll.
Yeah.
also, my thing with Tara is I feel like she responded to that kind of rudely. Like you can tell she's like not like
Yeah.
mentally
Yeah.
there. But also like it's an abandoned building and what's this woman doing in here? And I feel like they never really tied that up. It was just one of those random things
Random
thrown
thing,
in
yeah.
It's
there.
just another body to kill.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And not
yeah,
to mention isn't the building kind of like Art's headquarters?
I don't even.
It kind of feels like
Right? Like
it.
I
it's just
guess
weird how they
it
just came
is.
upon that building and it just happens to be his
I mean,
base.
that's
It's kind
Maybe
of
it is because like where he takes Dawn, that's is that just randomly gonna be in some building? No.
no,
no.
exactly. So I'm like,
No.
Unless he just like had the time to get creative. Like I mean, it was creative. I give it that.
So let's go to that scene. Let's now go to Dawn's scene.
Yeah.
Um, well, basically, him and Tara like scuffle. He ends up injecting her with something. Then she wakes up. She's tied to a chair,
mm-hmm.
and she sees like this little like post type thing with like something draped over it, and Art's there, and he's like terrorizing Tara with like weapons, and she's screaming, and then he walks over to this drape and pulls it down, and it's Dawn.
Surprise.
And this is
But
This is
I like
gross.
the showmanship he does.
yeah.
Most of the
He
time,
puts
it's
on
kind of
he
like,
puts on a
Yeah.
show. He's a great clown. We'll give him that.
So this is like the scene that made me really like this movie the first time I watched it because it was just so fucking brutal. It's so bad to say, but I was like, I have never seen a kill like that.
And this is the moment we're all afraid of Danny.
I
Okay.
told to do that.
So he says. They all say. Anyway, go on.
So Dawn is hanging upside down, naked with just underwear on, and her hands tied behind her back. She's helpless. There's nothing she could do, and Tara starts screaming. and Art walks up to her with a rusty hacksaw,
It was
Just to make it worse.
just to make it
rusty.
worse.
As if a regular hacksaw wasn't bad enough. Throw
And
some
he
rust on there.
and he rips her underwear off, and has the hacksaw right in between her legs. You know where this is going. If you haven't seen the movie, you know exactly.
To add that discomfort. Oh, but that's what it does. It adds the discomfort over scary, which is why like I prefer the scary over discomfort, but I think that's a girl thing almost. Like the men like
Plus,
they're
that's what sets him aside from Jason or Michael.
Yeah.
You don't see those type of kills in those
Yeah.
movies
Yeah.
besides this one.
So he just starts sawing away at her from
right down the middle.
Which
right
you know
down
how
the
long
middle.
that probably would have took him with that rusty blade.
Oh.
He did it a little too fast in my
Yeah.
eyes.
I'm glad he did it fast because I didn't want to watch it anymore.
But the best is again the showmanship. His face, if you're really watching him, he's like smiling and
Yeah.
loving it the entire time.
He starts going like kind of fast, and you can hear Tara screaming, and he's looking back at her like just this like laughing smile on his face from the song. It's so bad.
Ugh.
But I remember seeing that for the first time, and I was just like,
He was like, I love this movie.
They just do that? Like,
Yeah,
they got
I
away
know.
with that? Like,
Yeah.
how did that happen?
I don't know.
So-
That's that for the discomfort part. Like usually I would say like Rob Zombie's movies are very much like that, but like
Mhm.
this definitely
yeah,
takes it to a whole new
Yeah.
level. All of the Terrifier movies.
So yeah, Dawn's dead. Obviously, she's almost sawed in half. He stopped like probably a third of the way up her skull, and then he stopped.
Ugh.
So she was still intact, but not really. Tara realizes like she's dead. So then she has her fight with Art, where she's kind of kicking his ass actually. She knocks him down, and she's holding like a board, and she tells him to like get up, motherfucker. She's like yelling at him, and then he just pulls out a gun and shoots her.
From the beginning,
That's
though, I did get like huge final girl vibes from her because, like, I feel like the final girls. Well, you think, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you always knew that she was going to be the one to make it the furthest in the movie. Why? I think she has brown hair. First of all, for some reason, the brunette always. She also has like that tomboy vibe, and that's another thing. The tomboy vibe, she was like definitely gave off like less. I don't
Like she was a good looking girl, but she's
she
not
wasn't showing herself around too. Like they always have the girls with their boobs out, like kind of being, the ones killed first. And she just like from the beginning, I knew she would like at least make it to the end.
Yeah, and that's something that confused me about the movie. Like after Art kills her by shooting her in the face like 10 times, it was like 40 minutes into the movie. I was like, this movie's not ending yet, is it? I thought she
Yeah.
was gonna make it to the end.
It
whether she
happened
lived or
Yeah,
fast.
not.
that did throw me off. First time watching it, you see her dying, you're like, wait,
But
what?
when they were had the flat tire, she called her sister to come pick her up. I forget the sister's name. I think it was. I don't even want to be wrong. Do you guys remember?
Was it
Victoria, right?
Victoria.
Was it Victoria?
It was Victoria or Jackie?
I thought it was Jenna. Wow, we're a
No.
mess.
No, it's Victoria.
Victoria?
It's Victoria. It's Victoria.
I knew it was Victoria or Jackie. I don't know why. Not even close in names, but
Jenna. Wow. I don't know.
no.
Okay, anyway.
I'll just make names up.
But so she gets to where the car is, and then she gets a text saying, "Tara's sick. Come out back." But it was Art on Dawn's phone.
Yes.
So he's smart. I don't even know how
He's human. He knows how to use a cell phone.
But is he
right?
human?
That's what, right now in this movie
human.
he is.
Yeah, you think
You
he's
know.
human right now.
Can we just talk about the little scene when he's riding the tricycle?
Oh my god.
I absolutely love that scene. I don't know what it is.
That's one of those comics.
He's just riding around
Yeah.
the tricycle. I thought it was hilarious.
Ugh.
So now it's like cat and mouse with him and Victoria, and she was just going to pick up the two girls, but now she's like in a fight for her life, trying to kill Art.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of has a little bit of help from the janitor. I think his name was Mike.
Was it?
I think the janitor was Mike because his partner comes to like help him out.
That's right, because he does
And-
call him or something, right?
Yeah, and I thought he was like banging on the door, like saying like Mike, where are you, or something like that.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty sure it was Mike. I just watched it last night, but I was half asleep. So now like Mike and Victoria are trying to survive Art, and he Mike hits Art in the back of the head with something and knocks him
Mhm.
down, and he just picks Victoria up. He's like, "Come on, let's get you out of here!" Like really, you're just gonna hit him once and then be out? Like, fucking kill him.
Yeah. No, that's the one mistake everyone makes. Is like decapitate him,
Finish it.
cut
Finish the
those
job.
hands off, really make sure he's dead.
So I'm trying to remember what happens, like how it happens with Mike. Mike gets his face stomped in completely.
Yeah. It's
Um,
rough. R.I.P. Mike.
yeah. So he's dead. Victoria's trying to escape, and a part I thought was hilarious. It's something so little and stupid. She gets through those doors and then she like locks it, but it's still open, and Art's like reaching for her,
Uh-huh.
and she's like screaming like "Leave me alone!" Blah blah blah, and then he pulls out his little horn and just starts like, and it's so dumb, but it's so funny.
It
Like,
is so dumb, but also what I think is dumb too is when people are screaming, "Leave me alone!"
Yeah, like you think.
Like fucking fight or get out of there. You scream and leave me. He's not gonna be like, "Oh, never thought of
Yeah,
that."
sorry.
just killed like 6 people. I guess I'll leave you alone.
Like clearly he's on a mission and he doesn't plan on stopping. Like I don't know. That's always silly to
But
me.
yeah, that horn part always cracks me up. For it's just like it's kind of like antagonizing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can't reach you. All right, fuck you. I'm gonna honk at you instead.
My little horn really scare you.
So this is like towards the end of the movie now. She's kind of escapes, but then he catches up to her. I forget what he does to like knock her down, but she's unconscious at this point, and you see him get on top of her, and just you can tell he's like eating her face.
Mhm.
So Victoria was the girl that was interviewed on the talk show in the beginning of the movie. So her being attacked like that must have, like you said, caused some kind of PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know what drove her. I don't know why she just attacked the host. I don't know. But anyways, Art's eating her face. Police show up and they start screaming at him to stop what he's doing, put his hands up, whatever. And then Art turns around with his hands up, pulls a gun out, and shoots himself right in the mouth and
Oh,
blows his brains out.
lovely.
So
Just what we love.
yeah, so
All the gore.
you're thinking, Art's dead. So now it goes to the last scene, which is in the is it a morgue? Coroner's office.
Yeah,
Corner,
corners.
yeah.
And they bring in 2 bodies, one which was Mike. I know the EMT says this guy you're gonna have to identify him by his teeth, but you have to pull him out of the back of his head because his face
His
got
face,
stomped in
yeah.
Ugh.
completely. And I think the coroner says like, "What happened or who did this?" And he's like, "Well, that's subject number 2, which
Oh.
was Art." So the EMTs leave. The coroner opens up Art's body bag, and his eyes are open. His eye is open because he blew his eye out.
Yeah. Something
Um,
like you would see on a dead body.
yeah,
There's nothing to be like suspicious about.
he's not even suspicious at all. He's just like, oh,
Gross.
it's fucking bad. But then, like, the lights start flashing, the phone starts ringing, the radio starts going off.
And this is where he gets kind of like you start to realize that he might not be human.
Yeah.
The whole movie he's human
Yeah.
until like this kind of
Yep.
part.
And what does he just like pop up or something like that and grab onto the corner, the doctor, whatever you want to call him,
Mm-hmm.
and then the movie ends. I think it ends
Yeah, I think
ends
it just
abruptly,
cuts the
just
black
like
like that,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So that's Terrifier 1. We
Leaving
left
it.
out a
A
lot,
lot.
Yeah, you have to go see it.
but we don't want to play spoiler like we did on the last episode. We literally spoiled like every part of those
We
movies.
spoiled a couple things here, but like we didn't get into too much detail this time.
I feel like the first Terrifier movie's not that long, right?
It's not.
Like
It's
an hour and 20 minutes.
yeah. It's a
Right.
quick watch. It's gets right into the action.
Is that on
so
Tubi at all? Or?
Yeah.
free on Tubi.
Yep.
Tubi's the best for hidden
mean,
horror movies.
Minus the ads, but they're not that bad.
Yeah, they're quick.
Like, they'll be like 20-second ad, then it goes back to half an hour of movie. So
It's
definitely download Tubi. We are not sponsored by Tubi. We
No.
just love Tubi.
Yeah.
we don't get paid for this, so like we're just being honest.
Wish we did Tubi. If you see this, holler at us, give us some money. Well, they probably won't because there's absolutely no paid subscription
Yeah.
for Tubi, so they're not.
Anyway, here's your free Tubi ad.
If
We'll
Tubi-
plug them.
Like if they have
Shout
like
out.
a subscription where you can pay for it and be
They
no
have
ads.
they have a
I'd be in.
subscription, but I think it's free and
It's-
there's no ads.
No, there's ads.
There
But
is-
what it is you're now allowed to like or dislike movies
And like have
You
the
can-
continue
you can
watching.
save your
and-
progress. And then based on your likes, they'll like recommend movies that they think are for you.
Oh, okay.
Whereas for the one that we have, you literally download it and start watching. You don't put in an email or
Yeah.
anything. Tubi is great.
Anyway.
Tubi is great. I
So
like
yeah,
Tubi.
Terrifier, it is on Tubi, or you can get it on
Prime,
Prime.
right?
Screambox. I saw it on Screambox, so it's
Okay.
on there. Both Terrifiers. And really, that's it. Go ahead,
Um,
give it a watch, you know?
for Terrifier 2, on Tubi it says leaving soon, so you do want to hurry up and watch it. But I do think Terrifier 2 is on Prime with if you have a subscription.
Yeah, that's how I watched it. I
Yeah.
was on Prime.
All right, well, that's part one of our Terrifier series. So stay tuned for episode number 2.
Too terrified.